Okay, so I think we're set to go. Yeah. So the topic we're going to be presenting today is titled Maximizing Technology for Business Growth, Maximizing Technology for Business Growth. So it's a very interesting topic because, I mean, everywhere, Nigeria, and other countries in Africa, outside the country as well. We have a lot of businesses that actually use technology to leverage, growth. And I think that it's very important and imperative that for small businesses, we also see how we can take advantage of that as well. So this is a hybrid session. We have the virtual ongoing, we also have the physical. So we're trying to make it as interactive as possible. So I would try to ask some questions so I can get to know some of our audience. So I don't know if I can get as possible. The other mic is okay. So I would like to know, I mean, we're not scared, but I would like to know the person's name and then also your business, which also help us be able to streamline whatever we're discussing here. But as much as possible, we don't want to just talk about theory. We also want to see how we can make whatever is being taught here practicable to our business. Yeah. So with the young lady over there.
My name is Pedro. And my business is everything sweet. And I take business and fashion.
Good morning. My name is Emmanuel Otalapo. Emmanuel. My student as tutorial concept for into the of the phone accessories and gadgets.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Madelon Ekelipi. And I don't have a business here in the years because I'm not started. But I'm going to venture about making and logo design. About making and logo design.
Okay, thank you very much. As you can see, we have a variety of businesses. We have a suite that is into confectionaries and cakes that we have a suite. What? Okay, that's into you have cell phone accessories, and then you also intend to start a business that involves logo design and then also bags as well. And then you also have Open Nation Entrepreneur Foundation as well. I mean, it's not a business, but obviously it's in a business of helping businesses. So it's still a form of transaction that transactional value is in one way or the other. So yeah, next slide. Okay, so we'll start with the introduction to technology. I mean, people are treating how to maximize technology for business group. One of the things that we're going to be discussing is, I mean, what is technology? And as you can see from slides that are being shared, technology is the use of scientific knowledge for practical purposes or applications, whether in industry or in our everyday life. So everywhere around us, we see the use of technology. The fact that this fan is rotating, is a form of technology. The fact that we can actually project, whatever is being taught to the screen, is a form of technology. The practical application of technology. The phones that he sells is a practical application of technology. What else? The fact that we can interface with other countries virtually in this particular training is a form of technology. So when we're talking about how to maximize technology for business, it's very important to understand that whatever business we have, whatever setups we have, whatever systems that we've created to be able to exchange value to people, they are ways to be able to use technology to give our business that extra advantage. Because I would believe that everybody here, I mean, to a certain extent, if I ask you do you want your business to grow? I mean, everybody's going to say yes, right? I mean, there's no person that said, no, I don't want my business to grow, or I want my business to stay the same way it was last year. Every person wants to experience some sort of growth in their business. If you are a fashion designer, even if you're a startup organization, you're a tech organization, you are a photographer, my back then. Okay, so if you had 600 trainees like Oak Foundation, or you have more than 1,000 trainees, you want to have more. So every business or every setup that is established wants to experience some form of growth. And one of the ways to achieve that, if not one of the major ways to achieve that, is for us to find out how we can leverage on technology. Because sometimes when we talk about tech, what comes to mind, I would like this, is the internet, which is fine and very good, because the internet is a very important part of our life. But sometimes we're restricted to social media, restricted to Instagram, restricted to Twitter, restricted to the basic. The tech is so robust and so encompassing that if you use it properly, you can actually give your business the appropriate push that it needs. So, okay. Next slide. So, the next slide, before the next slide, I would like to ask us, what do we understand by business growth? So, maybe I can give the microphone to one of you.
Okay, now, what I would say about that is, okay, I see that scaling business from one stage or whatever level it is to a higher level. Just like having more clients, expanding, growing,
Very, very fantastic definition. So business growth is all like a pattern. Business growth goes beyond customers, goes beyond making more money. Business growth could also mean more productivity for your employees. It could also mean the ability for your business to say your confectionery and your cakes. Nigeria, you want to, or Ibadan, you want to replicate something in Lagos. You want to replicate something that your business actually scale its operation. You have 3 to 4 staffs. Now you have 10 staffs. You have a certain number of clients, now you have more clients. So business growth is something that transcends just beyond revenue, something that is all encompassing. Yeah, so our next slide properly explains what business growth is. So as you can see from the slide, business growth is the ability to scale up your operations, facilitate success in your target market, and help you take employee productivity and customer satisfaction a notch higher. And if you can see, summarize that by customer acquisitions and technical operations. So what that means is very simple, is that for any business, that one of the factors or the key factors or key elements that you have to take into cognizance is the ability for you to scale up your operation, the ability for you to have success reaching your target audience, and then also the ability for your employees to be productive, and then also the ability for you to be able to satisfy your customers. If I take, let's say, everything is sweet, that's the name of the business. If I take everything sweet as the example that we're going to use now. So, for example, to scale up operations, let's say everything sweet runs right now in Ibadan. You understand? So, if you want to scale up operations, you could likely say that, okay, if you want to have the same thing, you want to deliver to customers in Lagos, you want to be able to deliver to customers in Abuja, and maybe in the nearest future, you want to be able to export some of the things you do outside the country. So that's you scaling the operation. Another thing you can say, okay, facilitate process in your target markets. Every business, even though we are talking about technology, but every business has their target audience. So for example, you look at Open Nation, you can see clearly that their mission is to impact 1 million micro and small businesses. So that's the target audience of Open Nation. They are not in business to target the multinationals. They are not in business to target the what I call it, the blue chip companies, what their strict target is micro and small businesses. So every business has their target. There are some restaurants you see in Ibadan. The elite and the middle class are the only persons that they are targeting. It's the regular persons, the organizer, the person that can afford to, but 500 naira can take care of the meal and everything. So when you have a business, it's very important that you know your target audience, because when you know your target audience, it's easy for you to be able to deploy technology to be able to scale to the level you want, because you don't want to be targeting a particular type of audience that you don't have that your business is not properly aligned for, and at the same time would end up meeting your objective. For example, like my brother that sells phone accessories. There are some people that sell phone accessories, but the only phones they sell, they are iPhones. Am I correct? They sell iPhones and they sell very expensive phones. You get it? So their target audience are the people that can afford those type of phones. So it means that the marketing strategies you're going to use, the technology you're going to use is going to likely depend on the type of target audience you're going for. I don't know if you get my point. If you know that okay, the type of phones you sell are the Android phones for low-end users, you also know the type of strategies you use as well. So it's very important that you understand that business growth is encompassing that takes into cognizance the ability to scale operation, the ability to be able to have success while targeting the right audience, and then also employee productivity is very important. I know that for most micro and small businesses, sometimes we're in one man operation, or at max, maybe you have between 2 to 3 to 4, 5 employees. But the truth is, even if you're a one man operation, you're also an employee of your business. Your business employs you. So employee productivity is very important. If the employee that works for you, if your operations are not productive, then it's also going to affect your business. There's a popular quote that says, "A happy employee is also a happy what? Customer." So one way or the other, if you are not happy, I'm not sure your customers will be happy that week. Your customers will just come to your business and all of a sudden you get angry, or you don't even decide to pick up your phone. So you lose sales and everything. So employee productivity is very important, and then customer satisfaction. So technology help you achieve this goal that I've been applying. Your technology can help you scale up your operations. Technology can help you target the right audience for your business. Technology can help you improve productivity of your employees. Now, when I say employee, it also includes you, so that you don't think that this doesn't include you. And then technology can also help you satisfy your customers. It can help you gauge customer satisfaction. It can help you know whether your customers are actually learning. It can help you establish a feedback mechanism. So technology can help you in summary, help your business to grow. So you have to understand that technology is very important and an important feature that you have to take very seriously if you want to have growth in your business. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, yeah, this slide. So as you can see, it says that technology transformation and technology is at the center of every business growth. Technology has the potential to make and break most businesses, and that is very true. At the core of every business that you see out there that is thriving, technology is playing a very, 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 very important role. Most of big organizations you see, the budget they have for research and development, which is also in line with technology, is massive. So it's very important. As a small business, of course, you don't have the same tools, you don't have the same resources, but it's very important. You know that technology is a very important aspect that you have to actually focus on. And technology has the potential to make or break your business. I remember 5, 6 years ago, there was a popular quote that was going around there, I think more than 6 years ago, and it was like Bill Gates working against saying that if you don't have a website, you'll be out of business in the next 5 years. I don't know if you have heard that quote, and looking down the line, I mean, you can see it right now. If you don't have a website, that's a problem, and that's just a form of technology. I remember there was a private project I was doing, because there's some people I consult for, but because I'm always very busy, so sometimes when I have the time, I just do the side project. And this client came and he was asking me what I do and how I can help his business and everything. And then he asked for my website. And I didn't have the website just because obviously I didn't have the time for it and it wasn't my main, where the main source of income. And that was how I lost the client. I mean, because obviously before I get the website, don't get back to him and everything, and then the conversation just stalled, and that was it. You get it. So I'm not saying that you have to get the website to pay, but I'm just saying that integrating technology, website is just an example of how technology powers into your business. But integrating technology to your business sometimes can be what makes or break your business. I'm just using website as an example, but it's very important that for your business to survive, it's very important that for your business to get to the next level, because sometimes, as much as business growth is important, business survival is also very key too, as well. I'm sure you must have heard that the statistics of businesses that close every year. If we have 100 businesses that open, just out of very 100 businesses, just maybe 10 or 5 of them will survive the next year, and then just 5 out of those 10 will survive the next 2 years, and then 2 or 3 the next 10 years. So it's not easy. So everything you need to do today, welcome sir, everything you need to do to give your business leverage, you should be able to it. Everything you need to do to give your business an advantage, you should be open to it. And that's obviously one of the reasons why we're having this discussion. So we can go to the next one. Yeah. Okay, so we established the premise of how important technology is for our business. We've established that for our business to grow, we have to find a way to integrate technology to scale our operations. We have to find a way to integrate technology to target the right customers. Because, for example, I mean, you all understand what it means to target the right customers. You can't dress a certain way and then and don't meet the type of audience and tell them you're selling something. They're not going to listen to you. So it's very important that you target the right people because you're losing anything. If you spend 50,000 naira or 100,000 naira on the billboard, and your billboard is not properly, doesn't have the proper content, or the people that are looking at your billboard, are not interested in your content, then you're targeting the wrong audience. So it's very important that you find a way to leverage technology for the right audience, to find a way to leverage technology to improve employee productivity, and then also for customer satisfaction, like I said previously before. So we're going to look at examples, and okay. But before we start with the examples, I want to reiterate a very important point, which is help our business to achieve all of these objectives that I've mentioned before. Increasing productivity and efficiency is key to reducing costs and maximizing revenue, which can then be invested into growing a business. If you maximize costs and or you reduce costs. So sometimes when I'm recruiting, and I sometimes understanding for HR and interview a potential employee, one of the questions I ask is very simple. How do you tend to make revenue for this organization? Or how do you save us, cost? As any valuable employer or any valuable employee or any business owner that is serious, you have to look at 2 angles. You have to look at how you increase your business revenue, and then you also have to look at how to cost first. Because you can't be increasing your business revenue and you're making it. That I always thinking, if you make 100,000 naira today and you spend 90,000 naira on expenses or cost of operation, you're not making money. Even if you make 1 million naira today and you spend 950,000 or 2 million naira in the process to make 1 million naira, you've not made money. I remember one of the first business I did back then in 2017, one of my friends told me that we wanted to go into fish, fishery. And I was excited about it because I love agriculture. But we did a lot of things wrong. And I noticed that in 5 months we could spend, let's say, 200 to 500,000 cost of operations. And then after 5 months of waiting for harvest and everything, we make the same profit with 20,000 naira on top. And looking at the amount of time spent, it doesn't add up anything. What's the essence of spending 500 naira or 500,000 naira and making 520,000 naira? So technology can help us achieve both ends, and both ends are very important. So some of the steps that I'm going to give us are steps that will help us reduce costs. Some of the steps I'm going to give us now are steps that will also help us to generate revenue. But it's important that we focus on a holistic perspective. You don't want to make money and be losing money at the same time, or losing revenue at the same time. And you also don't want to, be very frugal with costs, but at the same time not making revenue at the same time. So it's very important that we pay attention not just only to the aspect that technology can help our business grow in terms of revenue, but also in terms of reducing cost and then maximizing what? Efficiency. All right, so let's go to the next. Okay, so one of the ways that technology can help our business, or we can maximize technology for our business, is to store data on the cloud. So I'm going to ask us what we understand by cloud. Okay, I'll just start with.
I think it's just like Google right now, the storage thing on the cloud.
Definition of overcome what you said. Are we good? Okay. So basically, the cloud, like you said, basically, again, when people say cloud, at first, when I first heard about the cloud, I thought the cloud was what we think the cloud is. But the cloud is just basically an infrastructure that can actually be used as a sort of infrastructure to leverage on your business. We have different types of cloud infrastructures. You have the service infrastructure, you have the platform infrastructures. In fact, right now, we're having this Zoom meeting right now. It's being hosted on the cloud. It's a platform. It doesn't have to download any application, it's just working. Just the way I would have a mobile application on the Zoom mobile application on my phone, but if I just click on Zoom, it's working directly on it. And that's because there's an infrastructure somewhere that is hosting this Zoom right now. So for our businesses, using the cloud is something that would definitely give each business an example. And as you can see, cloud computing makes it easy to create or pack up documents and access and share them from anywhere. It also helps to boost staff productivity and efficiency and the likes. So yeah, so I will give an example of how cloud has helped businesses or how cloud your businesses. I remember in 2020, and this is based on the premise of the example that was given by our boss earlier, that in 2020, a lot of businesses, because of the pandemic, a lot of businesses shut down. I'm not just saying this as statistics. I know some businesses were actually shut down, but I know it's similar business, similar to the one the organization worked, that the same model they actually shut down. So back then, so I worked for an organization that basically teach coding, animation, STEM. That's a business that I run, very functional business as well. But the model of that business is dependent on schools and it's also dependent on kids. So when the pandemic happened, there were two things that happened. First of all, the schools shut down for an extended period, I think almost 9 months to thereabout. Then also, parents were very skeptical about it coming out anywhere because obviously coronavirus and everything, So, and then you have salaries paid. You also have lectures to pay, I think the pandemic came in fully around March. And at the beginning of January, we had objectives this year, we're going to make this amount of money, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then the pandemic came like that. And one of the things that helped us as a business was to leverage on the craft. First of all, we had our rates. I'm being practical as possible because I can give a lot of theory here, but I'm just trying to give us the practical implementation of how this works. For example, we had our rent coming. And one of the strategies we took to cut that cost. Remember, I said one of the things that helps business growth is what the ability to be able to reduce the cost. Yeah, so one of the things we did was, okay, physically we don't need an office space for now because obviously operations has reduced, reduced drastically and everything. We made sure that one of the things that we could do or implement was leverage the cloud to be able to run our organization. So we had meetings regularly because the way we would have meetings physically in our office. We had it on our Google Meet platform, we had it on our Zoom platform. We're able to share documents using the cloud. We're using, when you go to Google Drive, you have Google Docs, share documents. We're able to assign tasks using the cloud. There's Google Tasks as well, you have Google Documents as well too, And then also we're able to transition our training that we're doing physically, we're able to transition virtually, and it's still a feature of our business that's being retained now. And we will have the ability to be able to scale, even though we need plan for it. Then we're trying to survive, but we also discovered that using the cloud gives us the ability to scale. Now we teach kids in Lagos, in Abuja, and we're able to teach some kids in the US, the United States as well. We would not have gotten that opportunity if we just focused on our brick and mortar model of business. So you can see how using the cloud, that is leveraging on the cloud technology has helped us, to be able to not only scale, but to be able to get more customers in line with our target audience as well. So take, for example, Oak Nation. If Oak Nation, I'm using Oak Nation as an example. Oak Nation is based in the, primarily based in Ibadan. Let's say she needs to open another outlet. This example is applicable to each and every one of us. She needs to open an outlet in Abuja, but she's not in Abuja. What she has to do is very simple. She can, leverage on technology. Leverage on technology, put out a call for employees or for volunteers, and she can have meetings with these volunteers without traveling to Abuja. She can share the brief and the purpose and the mission of Oak Nation without going to Abuja. She can even manage the team from here, and all of a sudden, Abuja meetings are happening without her. Of course, there's a place where she probably have to travel there, to supervise, but she doesn't have to be there, and Oak Nation doesn't have to suddenly, take everything from here and over there. But she can scale our operations without her leaving this place. So I run a non-profit organization myself. It's called the Everyday Chapter. And the Everyday Chapter started in Ibadan. We had our meetings here, we had our handouts, we had our operations and everything there. But because of taking advantage of the cloud, using cloud operations, we've been able to scale over to Lagos and Abuja. We have our operations happening in Abuja, we have our operations happening in Lagos at the same time. I have meetings with them, just well, I have meetings with them physically. I have meetings with the leaders, they have meetings with their team members, virtually and everything. So it's time that we start seeing the possibilities of taking advantage of the virtual technology, not just for meetings, but also for collaborative documents. So you and your team, you can work on different documents at the same time. You can work on different projects at the same time with any person. If you need to get, let's say, for the confectionaries, let's say you need a distributor or you need to set up elsewhere, you don't necessarily have to be there. You can set up everything up virtually, and I'm still going to get there as well. Taking advantage of the cloud is very important. It helps you to be able to cut costs, and then it also helps you to be able to boost productivity and efficiency. So let's go to the next one. Okay. So I want to believe that if there are questions, we are preparing our questions as well so that we can ask them both for virtual and also for physical. Okay, so social media and digital marketing is a form of technology that can be leveraged. And I know this is one that we're very popular, very popular with. What social media can use social media to use to generate revenue for businesses? And that is applicable every and almost every type of businesses you have there. So the issue note that there is that you need social media marketing and modern marketing software to reach your audience. Digital marketing should be at the forefront of your growth strategy, especially now that more people have access to digital content than ever before. As the world becomes more connected to the web and other devices via IoT applications, you have the golden opportunity to capture the attention of the global audience. It is. Okay, so I'm going to ask us a question now. It's just, the right discussion. Okay, I don't know why the other side is not working, but you can ask the question regardless. How many of us have social media pages for our business? Sorry, so what business do you do, and what's your name, so that I can be general? The last time is my name. Trying to agricultural campus. My name is Sumiffy. Yeah, I'm into logistics, educational concepts. Yeah, educational concepts. Thank you very much. Yeah. So I was asking, how many of us have social media pages? Active social media pages. You don't have one, sir, for your business? It's not very active. I'm not surprised because, as much as it looks as I said, social media and digital marketing, everybody should be aware. A lot of micro and small businesses who don't have active social media presence. They post maybe once or twice a year, and that is the now depend. What about family? Even you have on Instagram, there's not that active. Okay, and you have her. So what did I use? Some cultural conversation. All right. Okay. Yes, start now. Welcome. Yeah. So it's very important that in this stage that we leverage on technology. One of the first things we talked about was we said we can use the cloud system, to help us increase our productivity and efficiency. If your operation is something that you need other persons, you don't necessarily have to be in the same space to be able to collaborate with them and work with them, and you can also improve their. In fact, the way the world is going right now, a lot of people, a lot of employees, they want to work virtually, or they want to have a hybrid type of setup where they come in some days and they also work from home too as well. Yeah, but it's also important that your business has a very active social media presence, a very active social media presence, a very active social media presence. So, for example, I would ask you that let's say that has a logistic company. If your logistic company is based in Ibadan, am I correct? Okay. If because the way the world is, as you can see here, the world is becoming more and more connected to the world. A lot of people rely on the internet for whatever they want. If, for example, I need a logistics company, what am I going to do? I'm likely going to go on Google and type logistics company where in Ibadan. That's the default behavior of the 21st century consumer and customer right now. So if the person types logistic company in Ibadan or logistic company in India, would your business succeed? It would. Why? Because one, you have an active social media presence. Yeah. Okay, but so one of the things that you take from this meeting to take social media very seriously. That's one. But another reason why your business should not show is because you don't have a website as well. Do you have a website? You don't? Okay. It's very important that your business has a website. And not also the website, it also has certain things that are integrated to it, like the search engine optimization. There are certain search engine optimization tools that you can use to make sure that I can't go into details now because that's a full course on its own. But I mean, every business will want that if someone types, where can I get in the your business comes up, right? Or where can I buy the latest iPhones? If business comes up, or where can I get agricultural produce? Access to funding, or where can I get education for my small medium enterprises and open nation comes up. So that is something that every business will want, and that is something that every business should leverage on. And one of the ways to get that is access to social media presence. You also need a website, and then you need to run Google ads too as well. So you can take that down. I mean, how to integrate Google ads for my business. And you see free tutorial on how to run ads on Google. So when you run ads on Google and someone types agricultural produce in Ibadan or in Nigeria, your website or your business name is going to show phone number based on the ad that you're running. It's very simple to do, but you have to think like a customer. What is your customer going to? What's your potential customer going to do? And what kind of behavior are they going to exhibit whenever they need your particular product or your particular service? For example, it may not be Google, it may be Instagram. Some of them will go into Instagram and okay, you just try to Instagram. Wow, that's interesting. And and I'm sure she also has an active social media presence.
I went entrepreneur education organization in Ibadan, and I saw first two is Ibadan Business School, second is Open Entrepreneur Foundation. You can try that for your business.
Yeah. It is not rocket science. It is not rocket science. Like I bet that if you don't have the website and you don't have an active social media, it's like confession. There's no way your name will come up. It is not magic. You're not being witchcraft. The village people are not against you. So you have to invest in it. And like I said, you have an active social media presence, have a website. And just a little trick that I'm going to tell you, you have the website. Make sure anybody that is designing a website for you add a blog section to your website. That is one of the things that makes sure your name comes up. The thing is, like I said, think like your consumers or think like your customers. If the person is sick and the person, is having headache, the person is not necessarily going to say, I'm looking for this particular drug. The person is just going to go to Google and say, what is wrong with me if my head is feeling, And when the person types something like that, the person will see blog articles saying that okay, these are the symptoms that show that you have this. That those are website businesses that have invested in their blog. So those blogs are providing solutions to the problem. So for example, now your blog, if you have a website, your blog would say, what are the ways to what are the different types of cakes you make? You have velvet, you have chocolate, So you think like your consumers or your customer. What are the questions they ask? So sometimes the customers could ask, should I choose between red velvet or should I choose between chocolate cake for my birthday? Those are weird questions, but those are you see a lot of weird questions on Google. Am I correct? So imagine if your blog had answers to some of these questions that your customers were asking. So the minute they ask those questions on Google, your website and your business is going to work. If you go on Instagram, I'm just talking from the bits of a regular example. If I go on Instagram, for example, I needed to, my dad's birthday was in November last year. I'm going to use cake again, and I needed to get my dad cake, on for his birthday. We just in Ibadan. Just went on Instagram. What did I typed cake vendor in Abuja, and I saw the first list that came up were those people that put on the name of their account, they put Abuja cake vendor. They had their unique name, but the main name was Cake Bello in Abuja, and it showed. And I patronized one of them, the first person that responded. You get so these are strategies that you can put on your Instagram page. Phone accessory, the best phone accessory seller in Ibadan. You can put on your Twitter page, I mean, the name of the original name, because those are what people actually search for. Human beings can be very vain. So instead of searching for accessory user in Ibadan, they will type the best accessory because they want the best. So when you put the best on your name, the name is going to actually what? Sure. So these are ways you can leverage on technology to be able to acquire customers and be able to generate that revenue. There's also running Instagram ads, running Facebook ads, there's also using emails and the likes. One of the things I would like to say is this. I mean, be very experimental when it comes to your business. So, for example, you could start with Instagram ads. You can start with being active. You don't have to do all of this at once. You can say the first 3 months, I want to start with being active and see what happens. Okay, after the first 3 months, I want to try Google Ads. After Google Ads, see Google Ads is working, you want to add Instagram ads. After trying Instagram ads, see it's working, you want to have Facebook ads. So it's very important that you have at least 4 or 3 channels that your business is generating revenue from. So, like our business, our cake business will be generating revenue from Instagram ad, it could be generating revenue from Facebook ad, it could be generating revenue from Google ad, it could also be generating money from having just active on social media. So those are different channels that technology can be leveraged on to be able to generate revenue. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next one. The reason why I took a lot of time on that is, again, as much as possible, when we're going to talk about how technology helps us to reduce cost, we all want to know how technology can help us, to generate as much revenue as possible. Okay, so another very important aspect of technology is the ability for us to be able to automate routine tasks. Okay, let's pretend that. Yeah. So, but this I would ask you a question. Our question is very simple. What are the tasks that are taking your business, and what are the tasks you spend much time doing? Every person here, we want to be very specific to yourself. We all think we are busy, we all think we work hard. But there are some things that we are spending time on that we should not be spending time on. As we all know, money is time. Public like one time now what's that money. The time money is supposed to be used to things. We do not know that thing is supposed to be money. You get so it's very important you actually, take a very good stock of the business and ask yourself, okay, what am I spending, or what are the things that I spend a lot of time on? And when you write it down, you really ask yourself, is it something that I need to be doing, or something I think someone else to do, or is something that I can automate? Let me give an example. So, for example, of course, that is very easy. I want to start spending time on social media because social media can help your business. But the truth is, you can actually automate social media. There are applications you can use to automate social media. So that application there's one of them, Hootsuite. I didn't put it here, you can always write it. There's Buffer, Buffr, there's Hootsuite. So you can literally plan your social media schedule for a month or for a week. The exact post, the exact caption, that is going to be posted on Monday, it's going to be posted on Wednesday, and at the time it's going to be because some of us will say we don't have time for social media, we don't have time to post on social media, we don't have time to leverage on social media. You can also schedule your adverts too as well. So is there anything you are spending time on that you need to automate? But I'll just ask you a random question. Like, what task do you spend most time on? For my business, let me just try this one. I do more with WhatsApp, but as I do. So most of the things I do is try to maybe design things myself, put up prices and post on WhatsApp. I do that frequently than other.
Yeah.
Right. So whatever activities you are doing, that for example, he says that he spends time to do design, spends time to post on WhatsApp and everything. And that's a very fine and very important for his business. So the question we can ask is, okay, how do I use technology to automate this process? You know, is there a faster, is there a better way to be able to achieve this? And sometimes I know for small businesses, when you talk about things like accounting and invoicing, we may not be taking that serious, but it's very important. Like for example, I know that there are certain software that you can use that can help your business take proper accounting. And this accounting is very important because people like to take loan, you want to take grants from the bank, they need to see the proper accounting system of what you've done over past 1 year or past 2 years. So it's very important that you actually see other things that can actually help to automate these processes. There's one of them that is called BRAS. It's a Nigerian company. The startup that just recently started, you can check that, getBRAS.com. What this company does is, in fact, in order to 10 years, extremely smart person that I am doing. That means you get a business account from them, yeah, and then they also help you to, yeah, yeah, getbrand.com, completed. I checked it yesterday, right? You don't like work from Google, maybe I would like to, yeah, so, but it was Nigeria, yeah. Okay, trybrand.com. So you can get a free business account for that 10 minutes. Help you to be able to pick up your accounting, your payroll, and organization. You have two staff, you have up to 10 staff. I personally I use them to automate the salaries that are being paid. So for example, you have to say that, I have to transfer to this person, or I have to transfer to this person. If you know there are particular operations in business that you know that okay, at this point of the month, or every time I have to spend this exact money, and every time you can automate it so that you don't say, oh, I forgot to send you money. So from that application, you can put it into the account I want to send this money to. This is when I want. You can even do a regular bank app. You don't need your bank app. You can schedule payments, to people and everything. What we're trying to say is that as much as possible, you can automate your business operations. You don't have to be one to remember who you have to send money to, how much you have to send every time. And then also for accounting and invoicing purposes, you can use QuickBooks Online, you can use Brad, as all this accountability, and it's a Nigerian company as well. So you can try that. You have your stuff prepared, you have your invoice ready for your customers, then you can pay people you want to pay them from there. And then as much as possible, you also have the accounting done for you properly as well too. Yeah, so yeah, that's for productivity, technology. Basically, like I said, technology will help you to make money, but at the same time, it's also helping to reduce costs and also save time. Yeah, so let's go to the next slide. Yeah. Okay, so we have productivity apps that help us to automate our tasks, like I've said, but we also have productivity apps that can help us to manage tasks. The context of this particular conversation, I would like to ask is because I've got a question. I know that most of us are businesses and micro businesses say that we live like half of that, but sometimes we just
take them as they go. Sorry to use, we just wake up the next day. If customers show, praise the Lord. If customers don't show, no problem. You get that vibe as they go, as they be. But it's not meant to be like that. As an organization, you're meant to have objectives. You're meant to have KPIs. KPIs are called performance indexes. And you can use to measure not just yourself, but anybody that is working for you. So, for example, as a young man that has an organization that sells phones, if you get the boy at the shop, you should be able to say that in a month we are going to make sure that we sell 30 phones, or we sell 40 phones. That's the KPI for the boy or for that store to meet monthly. You'll be able to see that okay, these are the steps that we're going to, take to be able to hit those targets. I would like to ask, how many of us have set goals and objectives to our business? Not for your life. I mean, it's important to set for your life too, but it's also important to set objectives for your business. I'll ask you, Madam, what are the objectives for every student? Objectives. Because as easy as this thing, a lot of us forget, or we just going to get complicated with the people we are perhaps so objective ones. Most ones are actually one make it specific, make it measurable, if you are saying you to have standards. So very measurable in terms of numbers. I tend to sell 20 case this month. I tend to make sure that any corporate organizations will be valid. They always use my services for their employees' birthday. Those are objectives for yourself this year. You intend to be able to, I don't know, 5 trainings this year for cakes as well. It's important that for every organization you set objectives, because what we're talking about is task management. But task management cannot work if you don't have an outline to follow with. You are not working on the vibe and task management has to work with the proper outline, because you can't tell me that you are telling me this is my KPI. The KPI should be based on what you set for the organization as an objective. So that you have objectives. It's fine. No, that's why we are here. I mean, one of your goals here is to scale to have physical outlets. But like I also told that you have some specific numbers and objectives. These are the numbers of accessories, like the numbers of items you want to sell. You try to measure yourself at the end of the day. One of the challenges that small businesses and micro businesses say is that they don't hold themselves accountable. They can hold every other person accountable, but they don't hold themselves accountable. So, for example, now, you don't meet that goals. Nobody wants to, who's going to, nobody wants to. So, it's very important that as a small business, because most of the times, we are the ones that handle accounting, we are the ones that handle social media, we are the ones that yourself. And that's why we also talk about automating earlier. But you know that there's a particular part of your business that takes your time, but important you automate social media, automate technology, so that you can focus on the main work that you are going to be able to do. Imagine that you have to always get to your customers and everything and the rest. But why am I talking about all this? Let's talk about task management. There are certain tools that technology can help you to leverage on, to be able to manage certain tasks. So for example now, let's say, everything sweet, everything sweet is meant to sell 15 cakes monthly. Everything sweet is meant to work with 10 corporate organizations this year. Those are the major goals that says food as well. Everything has to be able to outline what is needed daily to be able to meet this particular goal. You know, the difference between a small business and a big business is micromanagement. The difference between a small business and a big business is micromanagement. They manage every expectation, they manage every objective, they manage efficiently. So, for example, if we have target of 15 to meet this month. Okay, I'm going to run and we see where I'm heading to. I have to run ads, you know, from goals and objectives, we get those tasks. But you cannot get your tasks if you don't have your goals. That will be very. So, number one task for this month, for this week, is that we run ads on Instagram. Number two task for this week is that I will be visiting 10 corporate organizations in the Ibadan and computer letter. It's a task. Number three, if you have an employee, I will send my employee to go and scout location to have a physical outlet. The task. You know, for you to have this task measurable, and there are applications, there's no like this is called Evernote. It's not showing on the, but you can just write it down. Evernote. So Evernote, there's also Google Tasks. So you can write your tasks daily. You know, you have to write it on the book every time. Like what I do, I have my tasks daily. Once I wake up, it's the first thing I see. Before the week starts, I have the list of tasks that I want to achieve that I will spend the first half of Monday morning. That week, we are doing the checkbox. I will checkbox. For someone like that, we go to different organizations. I can say Monday, I have to do this company. It's very important that you are efficient because, like I said, one of the people is that you are not accountable. So you don't have to measure yourself. You just know that I want to do well. But it's important that you have your tasks. At the end of the week, when you see that you put 10 tasks, and instead of doing 10 tasks, you did 2 tasks, you will know that you did not do well. I don't know if you get my point. You also know that you're supposed to take the remaining 8 tasks to the what? To the next 10. So there are tools like that, like the one I have is synchronized in my laptop, synchronized in my phone, so I'm seeing it. And then sometimes you remember something you're just add to your tasks. Then at the end of the day, you check how many have I done. Then one I can do right now. Okay, I will do it tomorrow. You know, so productivity is very important. As much as we want to make money, even if I come and teach you 1,000 ways to make 10 million naira, if you don't take your life serious, you are not productive. You are not consistently efficient and conscious about your objectives, you are not going to go anywhere. You need to get. So it's very important that you leverage technology to be able to do this. So you make sure that you download the application for your task, and then you make sure that you're always checking the application to see if you're on the right track. So you say that okay, this particular month is going to be able to outsource organizations. And you can also see that I need to submit proposals here after the task. You can also see that I need to create this particular person. I also say you want to do this, you want to do that. Then at the end of the month, track itself. At the end of the day, you can also track itself. It's important that you don't have this productivity. Because humans, let's not lie, very easy to get distracted. As much as we all clean our focus, very easy to get distracted with what is happening and everything. So it's also important that you take advantage of tools that can also help you keep focus too as well. Okay, so what's the next slide?
Wait, do you want to take it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so the next slide that we're looking at is web-based payments and product pages. Web-based payments and product pages. Remember that I said that business entails the ability to be able to scale your operations, the ability to be able to target the right audience, the ability to be able to improve employee productivity, which includes you, and I just talked about productivity, and then also the ability to satisfy scaling of media, talk about how we can use cloud to be able to scale our operations in case we want to expand, and it doesn't require a physical outlet and use the cloud for that. You don't have to have physical inputs anywhere. One of the ways that we can also use to scale our operations and generate is integrating web-based payment and product payments. I know this sounds like a current concept, but also foreign. Everybody can learn anything these days. So there are some web-based payments out there. One of it is one of it is Facebook. I don't know if you heard about it. Said now these days, so for example, if you just want to buy something from Nigeria, you want to buy something from, and then you see what happens with payment engagements. These are payment gateways that other services have, or other businesses have integrated. You do your business and also integrate it. So for example, Flutterwave and Facebook, you can check them Flutterwave on Facebook. They created as a small business. You can have your own catalog service on their platform. So you don't have to use Flutterwave or you can add your products. For example, you can add the different phones that you have. People can order it. You can add Flutterwave and say, you don't go to flutterwave.com. You can create your product page and add your product. I can send the link to people to pay from it because it's not even they want to transfer, so you can send the link to them. But where this comes in handy is when you're dealing with people that are outside the country. Where you're dealing with people that are outside the country. So Flutterwave and Paystack, they allow other countries, especially African countries, to be able to make payments. You don't have to send them in and they need to pay to you. So scaling of operation is easy in quotes. For example, now, let's say, let me take this business as an example. Let's say you run special operation. For suddenly you had an aspiration to start exporting phones from Nigeria to Ghana. All he has to do is very simple. He takes social media very active. He runs a Facebook ad, target Ghana and target Ghanaians. So when you're running your ad, you can actually target the country and target the location you want. In fact, you can target Accra, if it's Accra you want. So you put your page, iPhone sale, iPhone 10 for sale and everything. That'd be nice. You run the promo for Ghanaians, spend 10,000 naira on that ad. And Ghanaians start seeing your ads. And then you find a logistics company like DHL or UPS, so when your customers indicate interest and say, oh, they're interested in your iPhone, it's cheaper than the one they have got it. You send them your what? You send them your Flutterwave link or your Paystack link, and you make payment to you, and you send your product to them. That's it. I don't know if you get it. So that again, right there, you started exporting your goods to other countries, to other places that you will not have access to. That's you scaling. That's you scaling. You don't necessarily physical drink and not for this case study that I just gave right now. I don't know if you get it. So that's an example of a web-based payment. Then there are also some product pages. I said it's very important that you get a website. There are some companies that have come. There's one tech startup. It's called Get Bumper. They are in Nigeria. Get Bumper. It's BUMPA. So you can have your own unique web page for your products. You can have your own unique web page that you can send to customers. And they don't customize, very simple to use. Getbumper.com. So you can have like your own unique websites with them for free. You know, so these are services that you can take advantage of. You can also send to your customers, or in case you have customers that say, well, I want to see your portfolio, you're a photographer, I want to see your portfolio, or if you are other things that you've done, just send them the website link, or agricultural, I want to see other, just send them that website link, and it's very easy to customize and everything. Just your services. So these are technology that you can take advantage of. You can leverage to scale. You can also leverage to get more customers as well. Yeah, okay. So we're getting close to the end of this presentation. So what we have in our next slide is what can we do right now? Because I've said I've talked about productivity, how to automate tasks. I've talked about task management to make yourself more efficient. I've also talked about how you use social media to target the right audience, and then also how to make yourself more visible. Remember, I spoke about that if somebody looks for the best cake in Ibadan, your name should show up. If somebody looks for agricultural connect, your name should show up. If somebody looks for someone selling iPhone or selling a type of brand, your name should show up. And you can leverage on that. I've spoken about that. I've also spoken about payment options that you can integrate as a small business. You don't have to be a big tech startup to use Flutter or use Facebook. Once you know that, okay, you are targeting a certain type of audience that they can't just make transfer everything, to send everything, and money because you are part of everything, and you can also product it as well. So what we can do right now is the summary of what I've said. And the first thing is focus on customer retention and acquisition. As a summary of the which is customer acquisition and retention through digital media. Every business they need to acquire customers. Every business they need to retain customers, because if the customers are coming and they are leaving, it's also a problem as well. So using digital media to assist them is very important. As explain how we can use social media to do that. To retain customers is very simple. You have to create the customer feedback. You have to create the bubbles form. Where your customers share their opinions after they buy a particular product. You can have conversations with them on WhatsApp and Instagram, and how can I better serve you, or everything. But customer acquisition, you can acquire customers through social media. Then the second important summary of what I'm saying is automating the tasks that take your time. So as a small business, because you cannot do everything, effectively, of course, it's possible to do everything, but the beautiful thing about this is if you are doing everything, there are always areas that are software, and sometimes the most important area is software. You can't be the brand manager of your business, and also be the person that's still doing the work at the same time. So you need to look physically at your work process, and the parts that that are important for this time, you can automate it. You can automate social media. You can automate your accounting processes. You can automate things that you do as well. And someone else do it as well, so that you can focus primarily on your business. Because when you automate tasks and you save time, it's trying to do focus more on your business and more on the objectives that you set. Then the last important summary is improving productivity, communication, and data interaction using conferencing tools and document collaboration. So the world is going global right now. You know, a lot of people, I mean, 10, 15 years ago, we're not chatting with people on WhatsApp, but now we chat with people on WhatsApp, chat with people on Instagram. So the way we work, the way we interact with people, you know, as we're here now, we have a virtual audience that we are interacting with at the same time. So you too, you need to start thinking of how you can reach other people, you know, outside your reach, you know, using the advantage of technology. Can you create a team or a structure around your business using technology? If your business is a business or a vision that worthwhile, can you have other team members? Can you collaborate with other personnel, other organizations? Can that happen using technology? You know, can you get customers using technology that you find a way to improve communication and data interaction using conferencing tools and document collaboration, like I've said, like you can use Google Documents. You use Google, your Google profile, you have Google Documents, you have a Google Drive. You know, we have tools that we use with conferences like on Zoom, on Skype, and then for data interaction, we have different communication tools that we also use for that as well. So that's basically it. So, like I said, business growth that leverages technology that focuses on scaling its operation through technology is a business that focuses on improving employee productivity. That is your product, and whoever is using technology. It's also a business that focuses on acquiring the right customers using technology and customers what using technology. So thank you very much. So I don't know if we have a question.
Thank you so much, Mr. Andrew. So very much. This has very valuable. If you have questions, this will be the right time to ask. And also for virtual people, if you have questions, you can please drop them. I will be able to check it and ask directly. And I think for me, one of the things that really stuck out for me is the part of innovating tasks that you do. To be honest, as a personal it's one of the things that I think these things that you can use as an individual. I'm just trying to build a personal brand, not necessarily even trying to build a business. The whole idea of knowing that anything that you're going to do again and again and again and again, you should find a way so that you don't have to start thinking how to do it and beginning when you do the same. In fact, I'm glad to hear that you discover it. I'm using never to 20 steps. Yeah. Every week, I do my own Sunday evening for the week, for the day. Then I think I combine it with tasks. And I need to say this about it. I didn't realize that can you use Google Tasks for an organization?
Yes.
I've only used it as a computer. Can you? I'm wondering how is that going to work? How is that going to work? Assigning to different people. That means you have to have people have that. You can use commission tasks and you can assign to different
Applications like Slack, Trello,
yeah. I have a question anyway. And I'm going to be waiting if there are more questions. So let me jump back. We adopted Trello first in 2023. And it was all night. I think I don't know something. But we had a major issue was the issue of change management. Of getting people who are used to a certain thing to start using something else. So when you Trello, when we realized that many times you have to send water. At a point, little by little, we died out, even though it was possible. We have to go back. I think one one of the also factual and on a particular day like that, that a very important message was sent or sent on WhatsApp. And the person I was supposed to read it, because you know the kind of thing that one information is a key to another, to another, to another. So because a lot of supposed to work with people and take them. Maybe anything or anything. I did something first to say, okay, we have to do this very important. And in fact, when I checked it was really nice. I found out that the issue of change management, issue of unequal can become a very how do you navigate changes that happen? Because the whole idea of not just getting people in fact, I'm sure that people will consider that many of us don't use Telegram, WhatsApp. Because if you are thinking of sending somebody a quick message, the stuff that comes to your mind is not Telegram, Telegram, you might forget them. And for someone like it's only when I actually want to do something that I remember that I used to actually complete it. I'm trying for one community like that would create a Telegram. I never really used that because I used to forget that I had. So how do you navigate that issue of changing in terms of trying to get especially when it comes to that whole idea of converting? How do you even do yourself? How do you get yourself to navigate the change that come with adopting new technologies? That would be my question. And I will also check if we have other questions online. And please, if you have a question, too. Okay, maybe after mine, you go and then maybe online.
Thank you very much. The truth is, we're trying to be as practical as possible, and also be very realistic as possible. So the scenarios you spent is a very common scenario that I've also faced to myself. And we also have to understand the nature of what we are in, human beings, and also the fact that we're in Nigeria. There's some things that work in Nigeria that cannot work elsewhere. And there's some things that work elsewhere, but they cannot work in Nigeria. But of course, we try to find a way to balance it. That's why there's globalization. We're trying to replicate technology in other parts and bringing it to Nigeria. But if you notice, during the session, I didn't talk about Trello and Slack. Yeah, because I noticed that apparent businesses, micro and small businesses, and most micro and small businesses, if I say to come and start using Slack and Trello, it may not fly. Yeah, it's easy. But for our micro and small businesses, it may not work. It also may work, and it also depends on the type of it. Trello and Slack, they are fantastic, especially when you have it. But if you're a one-man business, I don't think that's what you need to focus on for now. But if you know that you have a team of 3, 4, 5 persons, you can actually use Trello and Slack to be able to apportion tasks and deliverables. So back to your question about how do you navigate. Sometimes with leadership, there's a line where you understand that, okay, do I adapt to my people? Do I make sure my people adapt to this particular technology? So I remember that last year, I founded a startup, and of course I wanted to integrate Slack, but I noticed that a lot of them preferred WhatsApp. But because it was the early stage, I had to adapt to what they wanted. And I felt that if WhatsApp made them more productive, no problem. As long as the goals and the objectives are met. So if it's WhatsApp that makes you more effective, no problem. We send the tasks and deliverables to WhatsApp. But I discovered that when I was sending it on Slack, they won't see it on time, they won't respond on time. I complained and I was tired of complaining. And of course, you don't want to create a toxic relationship with your team and everything. So, okay, let's try the ones that you seem to be more inclined to. And I found that it was more productive. Then later, when I had more sway over certain things, I was able to bring them back to Slack and everything. So that worked. Then on being realistic, it also depends on people you're working with. So there's some types of personnel that you're working with, that, okay, they are already used to certain things. Let's say in your hiring process, you ask them, being conversant with Slack, your onboarding process, you're very clear on what's expected from the organizations and everything. So there are certain things you can demand for when you know that you'll be clear from the beginning. And you also sort out for those type of skills from the beginning. But when you run a volunteer organization, in quotes, that you know that to a certain extent people are volunteering their time, volunteering their effort, and you know that you're not really with non-profit organization, you're working with the talents you have. You know, you can't demand that this person is coming. So sometimes you tend to adapt, you know, to them. So for example, now my non-profit organization, we use WhatsApp, you get. But the organization where I know I pay my manager, I pay my staff, we use Slack, and they cannot say otherwise, because obviously if you know that you miss a meeting, I mean, of course, you'll be deducted from it. By the time it's deducted from your salary once, twice, and 3 times, you have no choice, you know. So because I have a way of enforcing it. But for the non-profits, I mean, I don't really have so much sway about enforcing it, because people are giving their time and their energy. So WhatsApp seems to be the most convenient one, you know, so that politics and that dynamics would go to WhatsApp. So it's best to understand your people you're working with. Also understand you are in an organization whereby Pan-African, you're working with other delegates from other countries. Of course, you know that this is a common standard, this is what is expected. You know, so you know that okay, this is what you know. You are working with some people that the are probably in the rural area. You know, let's say you don't use Oyo town, but let's say Oyo town, you are doing a project in Oyo town. You know, and some of them they just have phones and they just have WhatsApp. You can't tell them to come on Slack and Trello. It may not be as effective. You know that those it's WhatsApp that you can use for them. So it depends on the audience and then also the scenario that you find yourself. Thank you very much.
They are willing to wait for maybe 3 more years to make back. How do you do this guy?
That's a very, very, very good question. And when running Instagram ads can be very expensive, but like you said, sometimes it can be capital intensive. But I don't completely agree with that because I've also seen the other side where you can spend less and then also make more too as well. Sometimes it's not necessarily about the money because a lot of people what they don't understand with creating art that they want to put money, but they don't focus on the type of adverts they are running. The content of the advert you are running is as important as the budget you have for it. You spend 500,000 naira on the advert that does not communicate to my organization. I mean, it's a waste of time. Content that cannot communicate. Let's say you are running a particular advert, and the advert is supposed to target the low-income earners, and you are using flashy cars, you are using certain type of things that people are not interested in. I mean, of course, that advert is a waste of money. So the type of content you use, even your caption, I mean, that text you put, you know, when you put on Instagram, the text you put there, the exact write-up, it's called copyright. That copyright you're using is very important. The image, the video, everything is important as the money that you are spending on it. So for example, I can have the right advert and spend 3,000 naira on it. It will give me more results than you just spend 10,000 naira on the what? On the wrong adverts. So what you need to actually focus is on getting your image right. I mean, what people see. You know, because the thing is, on social media, a lot of things are competing for attention. You know, when you're scrolling through your application, how many adverts do you actually stop to look back? You are scrolling, you're scrolling, you're scrolling. So first of all, the image has to be, or the video has to be something that makes you what? Stop. It has to be something that makes you stop. Then the caption has to be something that makes the person feel that is this thing going to give me value? You know, but that's like an entire training on its own. So, and the quality of the advert. Then when you focus, you get the quality and content right. Whatever you are spending is going to yield. It may not yield. I mean, 2,000 naira will not yield what 5,000 naira will yield, obviously, but it's going to yield something. So, for example, I'll give you an example. Like, I told you I have a tech organization that trains kids on coding, animation, so we have schools that work with. We also have centers. Like now, as I'm here with you, we have 3 centers in Bodija, Ring Road, and Bodija, Ring Road, and Bashor that are running right now. So I don't have to be there. How do we get customers? We get customers majorly from ads. So they had around recently. I don't think we spent more than 3,000 or 4,000 there. And another important aspect, I'm still going to get back to what I was saying. Another important aspect is know what you are selling. So for example, a particular parent, what we charge is, let's say 15,000 naira for 3 months for Saturday classes. So that ad that we ran, we got like 3 parents or 4 parents. It's very important that as a business owner, you know the ratio of the amount you are spending to the amount you are getting. So, for example, I got 4 serious parents. That is how much? 60,000 naira over the space of 2 to 3 months. Am I correct? And I spent what? 3,000 naira. So 3,000 naira is giving me 60,000 naira. And if you want to look at the lifetime value of that customer, it's not even 60,000 naira because that customer is going to likely stay with us for 2 to 3 years. I don't know if you get my point. So you as a business owner, you have to do the mathematics and you have to be very experimental. You know that, okay, if I'm spending 5,000 naira, and every time I spend 5,000 naira on an ad, I get 1 customer or I get 2 customers. So for example, I design websites. I spend 10,000 naira last an advert, and I got 2 persons that wanted to design websites. And one of those websites cost 100,000, the other one cost 150,000. I mean, that's a good return on investment. Am I correct? I had someone that wanted to design an app of, we're still discussing. And if that one click, that's over 1.something million naira. So, so if you know you're a business owner, you know the type of work you do. If you know that, okay, you do B2B, business to business, business to customers, you know that, okay, you need to make 1,000 naira profit from every click. You know the type of ad to run. You know that, okay, maybe you are making high volume. So you're not necessarily bothered about the number of, you just know that you need to spend, like, let's say 10, 20K. Okay, I'm coming, you spend a certain amount of money. Even if it's 2 or 3 leads you get, that is enough to, you know that, okay, if your type of business is the one that you make small volume of profit, you know that, okay, you need to spend a certain type of amount of money. So you need to be sure of your mathematics. And also, like I said, the quality and the content of the advert, you have to get it right. Because you don't want to be wasting money on the wrong advert. Thank you. Over to you, sir. Oh, so what's the question? Sorry. Sir, how do you do this with big organizations? Yeah, like I said, still the same response in some way, which is get your advert right. Get your advert right. So, for example, now, what do you do, sir? Okay, what does it start to do? Okay. Like logistics. Connect logistics. So people that need logistics company and everything. For example, so your question now is, okay, how to compete with the big guns, and then you get your marketing right, you get your advert right. Your advert has to appeal to your target audience. Before you came, I spoke at length about target audience. Everybody has the type of customers that they are looking for. So you have a target, the user personnel. If you're into startup, you confirm the user personnel is. So there's a profile of how your customer should look like. So for example, now if you're selling technical phones or selling, there's a profile of the kind of customer that will come and buy 30,000 naira phone. There's also a profile of the customer that will come and buy 150,000 naira or 200,000 naira phone. You cannot use the same strategy you use for that. You cannot approach, you can't speak to the person the same way. I mean, if it's going to use English to talk to that person, we won't use English. Because I'm not being, it's just reality. You know that based on the customer and the type of profile, type of person you should be expecting. For example, if you are selling babies' icons, you know that your profile is a modern. Your profile is someone that is middle class, goes to work. If you want to have a profile, you target your advert based on what that type of person wants to see. So you don't even have a problem with the big ones. Just get your what advert right. Your advert should be compelling. Your advert should be able to keep. I mean, the person should sit and feel that this thing can solve my problem. After all, I can't get access to logistics company and everything. But these people are saying they can easily connect. I need to use them. That's all. You don't have to go. And Nigerian tech space is so big these days that I don't think there's anybody that's competing with you like that in that space. So just get your advert right. Then once you test it, you run your advert in an experimental way. You spend 1,000 naira, you spend 5,000 naira on this advert to see the way it's responding. Then if it's responding well, you put more money. If it's not responding well, you change the approach and everything, just like that. Yeah. Okay, over to you.
About generating, get more objects. But when you come to money, very strategic. But very confident about the fact you can use your opportunity to manage objects without spreadsheets. We call it workflow. You can create the workflow. When you create workflow, you just attempt to this one the sex. And when you come to the concept, like, okay, this one is already know what I'm doing. That's already know what I'm doing. Like I set rules, maybe really start. When they end up today, yeah, maybe you make some advance every day. Okay. And there is that so I need it because like the next part is when you are on project without really go basically based on data and you can generate your customer. Number one, all you can create a work like if you're using most of the so when you create this work, it's very, very important that you know people will ask. So make sure you match them and you beat our question. Automatically, the both will find. Yeah. When you go to find, like they also manage like maybe okay, they don't get the problem. Maybe they want to get a service, but they can also get it. Or maybe you see this client, you can come to you and everyone. Maybe this person is already chatting. Maybe you don't understand. You can only listen. You can use even out of people are using 1 million real to make that. And you know, you can use 4,000 there. And you are there. When you have confidence, and you must like you tell something that I really just yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much for that. I think thank you so much, Mr. Yomi. This has been very fun. And honestly, I'm glad that we have a recording of it because it's something that I myself think I would like to listen to again. And especially, I think for me, the biggest thing that's great that is Because for me, I personally think that that's the biggest issue that most small business. I personally think that understanding how to navigate the benefits you have to do, how to prioritize, how to make this. I personally have to think that's the biggest issue that I have to say. And I feel that if you are able to handle that well, and then have time to work on your business and not just inside it. Because that's what I've discovered. Many small businesses are stuck. They are stuck in working inside the business. So you don't have the creative energy to actually work on it. I don't think you understand what I'm talking about. So you need to be both you need the idea of management, but you also need to have that visionary leadership ability to think of new ideas out of that. If you are stuck so much in all of the day, everyday activity of business, the chances that you have the mind share to be able to innovate and create and see your business in a whole new life. Because you only need to step back and look at the picture. But if you are right in the everyday picture, it becomes hard. And I think for me that's like a big issue. And I'm hoping that everyone will be able to do something more about that. Maybe we must try for another way. Just focus, zoom in on productivity. Zoom in on productivity. If you are doing what you want, how do you make it such that it doesn't express your life? I've been here, so I like it can be very bad, and you'll be doing a lot of work, making very difficult. So I'm going to check out some of the other hacks that you've just spoken about. I've listed a number of those names that we look at, try to look at again, and hopefully, I think I already mentioned that we maybe share some emails based on some of these things that you have suggested, and look at a set of email resources that can help you to try it out, know what it works. Even my program manager, can you hear me? Maybe we could look into the emails from like next week to like March and focus on each of these apps and what they can use. Do you understand? Because we send emails that every 6 weeks. So thank you so much. The last few things I'm going to mention is the fact that I'm concerned to really strengthen the public because we believe that they are social economic drivers, they are the key engine of the economy. That's statistics that show that everything we have, in fact, 75.8% people work within the NSC. So that is 3 of every 4 persons that has a job. Has a job because of it. So that's how we go. So that's I just want to this way comes together that this one and so we need to do I don't know how to he says that like advertising people that are question they noted those conversations that actually the reason why we solve this out. We wanted them to say actually move themselves. We should do most of this. But one of the that connection without amazing connection where somebody knows about the channel we have right beside them. That's happened before. I remember it was happening that we have to settle for people to share their most important challenge. And the lady mentioned how she I think of it, she's so secondary school clothes and all this. And I think she had a piece of that. She had this super places she can bring. So that want to buy a lot. And then the next person, the next one I want to talk about how he's also a person who like they have a whole big house with equipment, the ready stuff. So it was like the very problem that she brought to that place. This person is for her. So even that I have to really this part of this. But of course, I know that when you want that person needs to be better, the class of 60 wants to continue the idea. Talk about that. And a lot of people mentioned to my last matters. We also run short certificate because and the reason why we decided we started academic 2020. We've had over 200 people in the academy. We have a number of And this is how we started this. We realized that as beautiful as this this gathering, it's just 1.5 hours, 2 hours, and you are gone. And you take the information, but sometimes you can get home and get stuck on what you do. You understand? The practicality of it. So how do you now, what do you now do next? So we wanted to sort of help people. We wanted to do 2 things. Do a bit of focus learning so that you learn something again and again and again within a short period of time. And then you also have a way of applying it. So we do all of these assignments, things that sort of examples kind of thing, that really help you practicalize. And that's how we do courses. And we have one of our courses is called the Basic Entrepreneurial Program. We've done 4 courses already. I think more than 4 courses for that over the last 1.5 years. We are launching the 5th course this week. In fact, I think the application is going to start from today. And we're going to be sharing more information with you, especially for people who are physically here, or maybe for people who are virtually, you can have link shared directly. But of course, since you register for it, you're going to have your email for it. Share my email. Share our that will be a part of BB covers issues of product development, issue of financial, all of these things that we talk about, issue of finance, about that you're aware, where you actually, just like the thing you're talking about, where you actually understand what you are doing in your business from a deep perspective. You are not just every day one thing of your business. All right. Did you just finish all the questions? I hope that is very good. Can I sharing a program with you, with your email? We hope that you sign up for the course. Just 3 more weeks. Trust me, you're going to love it. It's actually one of our most successful programs. We don't need to get it. And we are always like people like question. I'm not even people test they come up. They take some of they begin to think as an entrepreneur, even go about their own lives and just changing the game. And so we are going to change about that. Email, so I will have your access. Please make it sound. Thank you.
Engine of optimization is a process, not a switch. It's a government for because of building that website, that you're building to developers their device. There are certain meta tags that you have to be intentional about adding to your website. As title of the, for example, title of certain of these pages would be titles that you people be for the line of your work. So if you are set the title of this, right? You know to how that looks from this place. Just regular topics that people will talk about. This is part of the title website access, use notice, questions that relevant normally asked. So having a functional website, really functional log areas, and setting key titles very important. It's setting advantage of Google Maps when it comes to so basically, I just find access, Google access, Google Maps. On your Google and access to readers, business, and anytime anybody search for anything related about the business, those are areas of reason that is in
Thank you so much, Mr. Yomi. I think the last thing I want to mention before I say we go ahead, because we also like to take feedback. Can you do that? So I think that just very feedback, let's just do this. Yes, forward slash capital O, capital B, capital N, capital S. Small e, guys. Yes. So otherwise, like OBN feedback. I wish I could display it here. I don't know if you can see this.